everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it is time for episode number 4 of the 2024 Halloween 15. This time around, I wanted to take a look at 1962's Night Creatures, or as it's known outside the United States, Captain Clegg. And the reason I picked this movie is it's in this collection of Hammer horror films that I own. You can see, whoops, right there, Night Creatures. So I assumed, being on a Hammer horror collection, that it was a horror film. It turns out that it's really not. It's more of an action-adventure film with horror elements. But I still decided to keep it in the Halloween 15 because it still kind of conforms to the spirit and the type of film that I want to review for the Halloween 15. So I'm going to keep it in, even though it's really not a horror film. So if you are planning on watching or looking at all of the movies that I look at this year, this one's really not a horror film, but I still think it fits as a Halloween film. Night Creatures, or Captain Clegg, whichever you prefer to call it, takes place in an English coastal town called Dymchurch, and a Royal Navy captain, Captain Collier, played by Patrick Allen, shows up with his men, and they're looking for smugglers in the town. And they've been informed by someone inside the town that some smuggling's going on. Supposedly, someone is bringing in alcohol from France and not paying the proper taxes on it. As he goes through the town looking for his informant, he's introduced to the town's notable citizens, including the Reverend Bliss, or Dr. Bliss, played by Peter Cushing, coffin maker Mipps, played by Michael Ripper, and alehouse keeper Rash, played by Martin Benson. As Captain Collier makes it through the town and looks for his informant, Mipps informs him that the man he's looking for has been found dead in the marshes outside of town, and believes him to be a victim of the marsh phantoms, which are these ghoulish riders that are said to ride ghostly horses in the marshes that are outside of town. And they're kind of interesting to see and how they're depicted in the film. But of course, Captain Collier doesn't believe that these marsh phantoms exist, and they continue looking for evidence of smuggling. And I won't spoil the rest of the film, but it becomes kind of evident that Captain Collier has to investigate these marsh phantoms to kind of get to the bottom of what's going on in the town of Dymchurch. And one thing leads to another, and a movie ensues. This movie was a lot of fun. It wasn't what I expected. Like I said, it wasn't a horror film, but it was a lot of fun, especially as a fan of Peter Cushing, who really is having the time of his life with this performance. You can tell he's enthusiastic about the character he's playing. He switches from this mild-mannered reverend to sort of an alter ego. I'm not really spoiling anything by saying this, but he's involved with the smuggling operation, and that's revealed very early in the plot, so I really I'm not spoiling anything. But he has to switch multiple times, multiple personalities, forward-facing personalities when he's talking to Captain Collier, and then when he's talking to his smuggling crew. And the times when he changes over, it's just hilarious that he has to put these different faces on. And he's just having the time of his life. There's some secrets that are kept from different people in the town, and there's some... Captain Clegg, the original title of the film, is a character that factors into the movie and the opening scene. I won't give that part away. That's also works into the plot. I won't spoil a lot of it, but the heart of the film is around this smuggling operation. But it is a lot of fun. It's definitely not your typical Hammer horror film, because it's not a horror film, but it does have a lot of the elements of a Hammer film. It's got a little bit of gore, enough sexual content that they could get away with in the early 60s. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun, mainly for Peter Cushing, but everybody else is really excellent too. Patrick Allen is a lot of fun. The exchanges that he has with Peter Cushing are just hilarious, and it's just sort of devious the way Cushing's character plays him. Those were just immensely fun to watch. But Michael Ripper threatens to steal the show. Martin Benson as the not-so-nice alehouse owner is actually pretty good, makes you really want to kick him in the teeth. Oliver Reed, a young Oliver Reed, is in this film, and I don't want to neglect mentioning him. He's really good in this, in the limited amount of time that he's on the screen, but you can kind of see his appeal to audiences and what that would be in future movies. But lots of fun. I really had a lot of fun with this movie, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Night Creatures may not be a horror film, but it's definitely a film that would really kind of appeal to a Halloween atmosphere, I think. So I'm glad I stuck with it for the Halloween 15, and I give it a recommendation. So it's probably the best film I've watched so far for Halloween 15, and yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. So Night Creatures, thumbs up. Thanks again for watching, everybody. As always, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. And we've got more of the Halloween 15 coming up. Episode 5, which is the Slumber Party Massacre, will be coming up in 48 hours. So look forward to that. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.